Testing. And here we are in practice. Commentary will start in qualifying, which is about 20 minutes away. Mic test. Mic test, just before qualifying. Alright, welcome to the Singapore qualifying session for the RPR Championships live in Singapore. And it is a rainy day here today, as a couple of cars have already made their way out onto the track to get the early lap times, and we'll go on board with them now. Let's just get them up. So we will go on board here with Asa Fajana, and he is on his out lap. We'll stay on board with him to see how he gets on. And now let's have a quick look at, this is Carl Froud 983 in a very nice looking livery car, and with them intermediates, all cars will be on the intermediates here. And this track is a very challenging circuit as it is, especially in the wet. Loads of sharp corners, not really much room to overtake, and we have a yellow flag already up ahead. Let's see if we can find out what's actually gone on there. And that is this man here, this was who it was. But he's back underway now. And as I was saying, this circuit, Singapore, and a bit of a kick out of the back end there by Afjana. This circuit's very difficult. It's almost like Monaco now as he comes to start his first flying lap. Loads of shotguns, not much room to get the overtaking, bar like the 2 DRS zones, or possibly 3 as well on the home straight. But very complicated circuits, and especially in the wet, we'll may see a few lockups, may see some incidents today. As we now go on board with Asset Vajana, and he sets purple first sector there, but I believe he is the first car to get a go at the final lap. And there is the first lockup on the front right there, as you've seen. The rain coming down now, as now he gets the power down for this little bit of a straight, and then he'll be flicking the car left over the curve, very nice, and then sharp right, 90 degree. As we now go on board, and this is with Carl Froud 983, and he is on the intermediates as well. He's taking his time very, very cautiously here, which is what is needed in this weather. On this track, goes very nicely into that very early on the braking, and now gets the power down, which would normally be the DRS zone. And now we'll go on board, and this is Johnny Travolta, and he's coming just under the little bridge section here, and he is currently coming around to the home straight here. And the fastest lap has been set of a 1:57.9, and that is Azerbaijan. He set the first lap. Well, let's see if that can be beaten. There's a 2:01 there by Johnny Travolta. 1:56, it's been beaten already by Irez Hamizaric. Sorry if I've just absolutely crucified the names there, apologies. As we now stay on board with Johnny Travolta, and another time has been set as well. That one by Carl Froud 983, a 2:08. A few seconds off there, so he'll look to improve on that, and hopefully maybe the track might dry up, which would help a lot of the drivers out, get on the softs, get some fast times set. As we go on board with Scotty H33R, he is in the white with pink livery car and a little bit of green, very nice looking car, as he looks to set his first lap as well. In sector 3 he's coming now, just started that, and he'll be looking to finish strong here as we go on board with him. As we were saying before, you know, these sharp bends, just looking here, flick it left, flick it right, on the brakes again, round the right, on the left, onto the curb. You don't want to get too much on the curb in this wet. You'll just send the back end straight into the wall. With it being a street circuit as well, there's no room for error. One mistake costs you. I know there you get a little bit of a slide by Scotty H, but that takes him up to second. That is a quick lap time. Only his teammate here, Shorty 62, is currently in front of him, so them two working very nicely there as a team to be up in the top front two, as JR Marlin moves over there. Let's just quickly go on board with, this is Johnny Stokes in what I can only say is a very colourful car, and he's on his out lap here, so we'll stay on board to see how he develops as he takes that corner very, very nice there, and he'll start his lap now as he's deploying the ERS, goes to look wide, cuts in. We have another yellow flag just behind him, sorry, just in front of him there on the right of him. but we stay on board with Johnny Stokes now. Let's just maybe quickly change this and go down to James McDevil, as he is on his out lap here, number 21 there. As the rain it does seem to be stopping from what I can see here. Maybe the track might dry up. I mean, it would still be greasy for the time being, so I do think it is still a bit too early for the mediums or the softs to certainly go on, but intermediates definitely the right tyre to go on here. I mean, is it a case of maybe just waiting to see at the time? So, and a little bit of a wobble there actually, as I was just saying. James McCivil, sorry again for the names, as he has, and he cuts the corner there. Yeah, so cuts the corner quite a lot as well, and there's also 2 yellow flags now, as we'll quickly see if we can get on board with the driver. So that is Avi84 GT there. So is he just maybe stopped to let a few people go for the flying laps, as he is on the out lap in the all black car there, and this is on board with this is Ed Junal. He is also on the out lap. Still no one beat that 1:53.4. That is an extreme quick time, especially in the wet there, and on the intermediates. And that was done by JR Lattice. As we go on board now with this is Ed Ju. Hard on the brakes, goes left, round, gets on the power, doesn't want to do it too much, tweaks the brakes, it flicks it in right, and then again down on the power, but not again because too much, because there is a sharp right coming up into the left. Tweaking the throttle into the straight. This is normally the DRS zone, but with the rain and the wet tyres, no DRS. As we will stay on board with him as this lap develops. Let's see if he can do a decent time here, get himself into Q2. As Avi84 GT comes into the pits there. A few people now coming into the pit. Oh, and JR Mellon, as we just commentated, he's gone off the track. He's trying to find that reverse gear to get back on the track. Yellow flag there in sector 2. I think he maybe just overshot the bend, didn't brake in time. Like I said, the track being greasy lets the car go through though. Very, very good sportsmanship there to let him through. And we'll stay on board with him now just to see if he can set a lap time, but the track does seem to actually be drying up. I mean, maybe a few teams might consider here just going on to the soft or the dry compound tyres, maybe throw on the softs, get a lap in quickly, as we've still got quite a few drivers here waiting, and there's a bit of a slow round that corner there, maybe just touch the barrier. Yeah, so the track seems to still be greasy, but maybe a few he takes that corner and cuts it across, but he'll come for his flying lap now. But maybe a few teams there just thinking about debating on going onto the soft tyres. As we go on board with James McCV again, and yeah, so he has actually thrown on the soft tyres, cutting the corners there, just getting round, getting to that flying lap. So they must now feel that, you know, the track is dry enough, certainly to be going on them soft tyres, set their quick lap times here. And let's see if maybe anyone else is actually doing that. So no, we've still got the intermediates. We've got Johnny Travolta here coming out. He's gone onto the softs as well. So you know, the times should be dropping now, as well as this man Carl Froud 983 also on the soft tyres. As this man comes out as well as a Vajana, he's gone on the softs. You've got a few people now as well. So you've got Ezra Hami Zarachi. Let's have a quick look as well. You've got the likes of Shorty 62 here, soft tyres. So a lot of people now going on softs. DRS has been activated. He sets a purple first sector there. And we'll go on board quickly with him to see what lap time he can do here. As he now plants that power down, gets the RS underway, hard on the brakes, flick it in very nicely there, goes to go right, can just ride that curb just a little bit more now with the wet weather not being there. And DRS, the rear wing open there, as you can see, goes straight down here, hard on the brakes. And another yellow flag there in sector 1. I think that might just be someone letting someone through on a flying lap, but we will stay with this man, Shorty 62, as he looks to complete his first lap on the soft tyres as he goes under the little bridge section there. Again, like I was saying, very tricky circuit. It's been made a lot easier now on the softer tyres, having more the grip, more downforce, as he goes very, very fast around there, goes across the line. This is going to be a very quick time, 1:36.127, that's the time to beat. So the time has definitely dropped here, and that's kind of a bit of an alert for the other drivers who haven't set times to certainly think about getting out, getting the lap times in, as the track certainly got faster as the rain stopped. So let's see if we can go on board with maybe a few other people that are looking to set their laps now. So this is F1X Gen, and he is on the softs as well, as he's going for he's on his flying lap here, and he is currently just on the first sector, going just come out of the first few bends there. As he activates the DRS, we'll now go on board with him here to get the view of just above the car to see the front end go in there into the bend. And as you can see, just excellent grip levels now with the soft tyres, no more real lockups. And as we discussed, that James Owl 90 has set an actual time on medium, so he's the first one to do that on, and he's done a 1:37.4. That's a very quick time on medium, so not just the soft tyres but the mediums as well, proving very quick around here now. Certainly expect to see a lot of the drivers, if not all of them, out on the track within the next minute or two to get their times and get into that Q2 and look to kind of get the upper hand in the race. As again, F1X Gen, as we stay with him, just coming to sector 3, as he'll very, very clean there around them few bends, as he is coming towards the final bit of the circuit. What time will this man do? And he's coming round the last corner now. As he comes round, DRS will open, and that is a very nice and very respectable time of 1:35.7, so that takes him up to second. That should be enough to see him through to the next qualifying session. And we will go on board with maybe just a few people here. So we will go on board with Hud Sojo, and he is looking to set another time, a better time with the 1:43, which he did set on the soft tyres, I believe, as well. So he'll look to improve on that. So yeah, as you can see there, every driver bar James Owl, who's done a very, very neat time there on the mediums, is everyone else on the softs. As Hudso comes round in a 1:43.088 there, as he goes very wide, and that's in 11th. That might not be enough to get him through, as there's still a few cars. Oh, and he nearly clips the barrier there as well. So we'll go on board with Carl Froud as he starts his next lap. Will he improve? Will he get under the 1:40? And there has been a lap time actually set by this man as well, RPR Ford. We'll go on board with him now, and we'll see if he can maybe cement that Q2 position. With he's 1:37.5. That's a very good time. But oh, and a little bit of a wobble there. Maybe pushing the car a bit too much as he goes very, very deep. Nearly clips the barrier. Not quite. Just about saves that. Very, very lucky to escape the barrier there. But we'll stay with him on this lap. As he very aggressive, as he again nearly clips the barrier, maybe pushing the car a bit too much, but wanting to get into Q2 there. And his yellow flag, he's crashed, and the front wings come off, he's spun as well. That's going to take his lap time down an awful lot, as he will have to pit. There will be no front downforce, so he will have to hope that 1:37.5 will see him through, as he will not be able to improve on that. That should be enough though, but as we'll go on board with a few other drivers here, so his teammate here of RPR Chubb, will he improve on his time? And now we'll go on board with this man. Can't be touched 9-1. As he comes into the pits, he's happy with the 6, and that should see him through. Just going down the order here, having a look at sometimes. You've got the likes of, let's stay on board with Gleggy 991 to see if he can possibly do anything, but I do believe he has actually finished, and that's a 1:40. There you've got this man here, JR Mallon. He'll certainly want to get through to Q2 as he looks to do his first actual lap and set a time. So we'll stay on board with him again, like we've done with other drivers, to see if he can get through to Q2. Takes it very nice there, a little bit wide, and rides the curve a little bit too much there, but he's come up to set his time. What will this be? Will this be enough to get him in? You're looking at about a 1:39 to get through, and that should be enough. That's up to 10, so that should see him through to Q2. So very quick time there, and with a lot of confidence to only go out and do the 1 lap. And let's see if there's anyone else that has possibly gone out. But I do believe that is it for Q1. So there it is. The current man's beat is this man, JR Lautis, and he did a very quick time. The only man to actually go under the 1:35 mark with a 1:34.4. And as the cars come to finish, we'll be heading into Q2. Only one man got through on the mediums, and that was James Owl. But we'll go down the order now. So in the current top 3 in Q1, JR Lautis, Shorty62, F1X Gen. As we await Q2. Okay, and looking through the comments on this section, we have got a few people suggesting that maybe Chris will win, and he's not even there. So very, very bold statement if he's not even there. That's from Jack Lattis, who is racing, I do believe, as well. Yeah, so he's currently in the pits as well in Q2. I wonder what time he can do. Can he make it through to Q3? And then you've got someone saying Hud Sojo to take the win tonight. He will book it. And let's have a look as well. And I don't believe he's actually in Q2. So unless, I mean, if he can get from the back of the grid and make the moves, that would be a very impressive drive. But as a few cars now come out of the pits to set the early laps in, will people maybe go for a different strategy? Will they maybe decide to go for mediums, try a one-stop medium hard, or will people go aggressive, maybe two-stop softs to mediums? But let's go on board with this man again, as a Vajana. He is on his out lap, and we'll stay on board with him as he goes round. And he has actually gone on to the medium, so maybe he's just gauging what everyone else will be doing in the race this weekend. Maybe he will think that he can get the mediums and then the hards all the way to the end, or maybe he might be just trying to go on mediums and then do a two-stop, go to softs and possibly another set of mediums, or even two sets of softs here. As this man as well, Carl Froud, he comes out the pits now. We'll go on board with Johnny Travolta here, as he is currently behind as Irez there, as they're all looking to get early lap times in, as they are just about to start the sector 3 stint. But we will go on board with this man as a Vajana, as he's looking to finish sector 3. He will be the first one to get a go at the flying lap, as he comes under the little bridge section, flicks it right, very nice there, flicks it right again, and then round the last long bit of a bend. You can almost take it flat out if you get the right angle. We'll go on board with him now just to see what he can do. And we'll stay on board with him as he comes round on the curb, goes left, hard on the brakes there, not getting on the throttle too early. Don't want to make that car kick out. But there's a few people here just looking at the telemetry. You've got more cars on the mediums than the softs, so maybe a few people there thinking that the medium tyres might be the right choice. But I mean, we'll see what the times are, because a few people may go on the mediums and then come in for the softs, just if the lap times are a bit quicker on the softs, which you'd imagine they should be, but by how much, that is the question. As we now go into a very nice camera shot there of the car of Azerbaijana, and we'll have a quick look as well at this man, Johnny Stokes. We only had a brief look at him in Q1, so let's have a quick look at how he's coping in this very, very tricky, very tight and track today. I'd imagine a few people are probably running a lot of downforce, get the car planted to the floor. A lot of corners, you want to be very quick through them. Not many straights, like I was saying before, to actually overtake. But he starts his first flying lap, Johnny Stokes, now, as he comes round the first corner, and we'll quickly go back on board with this man who is having the first go, as he's looking to complete that lap. There's a bit of a wobble there as well, but he kept that very nicely under control, so very nicely handled there. What time can he do? It's looking good. It's a 1:34 currently, 1:37.5. That's a good time, especially on the mediums. And then we will quickly jump to this man, Scotty H33R. He is on the outlap, and he's on the mediums as well, noticeably. There's a few yellow flags come up on my screen, as a few cars maybe letting other ones go through as they look to set that. But the time is James Owl there, so he's gone and done a 1:36.1, so he's quite a bit faster, and that's another 1:36 set there by RPR Chubb on the medium, so that's a very, very, very quick time there. 1:36.4 on the medium, so there is the time definitely there on the medium tyres. So he'll have a certainly very good advantage if he can make that through into Q3 on the set of mediums. As also James McSivvy, he is set a 1:39.5 on the mediums as well. Maybe just something to think about with these cars that maybe aren't getting towards the 1:36 on the mediums. They may consider just coming in, getting on a set of softs, and a 1:35.037 on the mediums. So that's JR Lattis. That is an incredible time there. He's beaten someone that's on the soft tyres with James Owl. That he must have sent that car like that. What has he done? That's a Verstappen straight, just sent the car. Absolutely fantastic time. We'll quickly go on board with him now. just wow. I mean, you'd expect the soft tyres to be a lot quicker around here, but no, he's done a remarkable job there. Over a second faster actually than second place, so that's looking very quick. I think he'll be very happy with that. He'll probably just come in now, go in the pits, sit the session out, see what times are doing, see what times are being done. But yeah, absolutely incredible time. That's 1:35 on the mediums again. Will anyone actually beat that? Will we see maybe a 1:34? But I mean, let's have a quick look at Can't Be Touched. He's done a 1:36.025 as he let a driver through to do their flying lap. This is James Owl now, so he's in the top 3, but he is on the softs, and no one else on the softs has actually set a lap time. So let's see if we can find someone that is currently out there. So we'll go on board with this man. This is Carl Froud 983. He's on the softs. Let's see what time he can set on them soft tyres, as he is coming round to do his first lap. So DRS activated there, gets the power down, the ERS being deployed 180 mile an hour into the braking zone there, and we'll quickly go on board, get a shot from what he can see here. As he comes round, he'll flick that in now, right, just a little bit on the curb there, very nice, not too early on the throttle as he'll get the power down now, into the braking zone, left, under the bridge, flick the car right and round, but then not too early again on the brakes, round again, a little bit on the curb, very nice there, not too early, don't want to hit that wall, don't want to get the car too kicking out too much as he comes into the pit, so maybe he's feeling that he might improve the setup. Maybe he might need more downforce, but only he will know what the car's feeling. As we go on board with Johnny Travolta, also a man on the softs. We've only got one person up there still that set a time on the softs. So maybe someone will go on the softs, or maybe they're all just going to go for the medium kind of setup. Bar James Owl that has already set the time. As we follow him through now in Q2, as he looks to complete his lap and get a lap time on the board. Another yellow flag just come up on my screen there, just another car letting someone through to get their best lap time in, but this is Johnny Travolta setting their first lap time, so he's currently in sector 1, just about to go into sector 2, and that's a 27.4. That's not a bad time at all. We'll quickly go on board, and a little bit of a slip there, a little bit of a kick, a lot of understeer, so maybe the track's still a bit greasy, and he's touched the wall, not hit the wall, full impact, but a little bit of contact there as well, so that's going to certainly slow him down. That's going to make this lap time, and the back end kicking out, not having a great stint here, Johnny Travolta. I wonder what's kind of going on. Maybe a bit more downforce is needed, and that's maybe why a few people have come into the pits. But let's quickly just jump on board with F1 XGen. He had a great Q1. Let's see if he can make any improvements on that and go to Q2 as he looks to warm up his tyres here. To get them at optimal temperature to go round, and looks to set his first time. And we will follow him through here as he comes into the left under the bridge, flicks it right, and then another right hander. Very, very tricky, very nicely taken there, even on his outlap. We'll quickly go on board as well with this man here. This is Erez Hamizarachi. Again, apologies if I have absolutely crucified anyone's names tonight. Bear with me as I pick all your names up. As he activates DRS hard on the brake, and that corner is taken very quickly there. Very nice, not too much on the curb as well, if anything. Great little camera shot as he comes round there. Still a 1:35.037 to be beaten there by JR's Lattice. I think that's him done for the session. I think that's a very impressive time there, especially on mediums. I mean, where did he get that pace? I'd love to have an interview with him and ask him exactly where he got that pace from. I mean, he's clearly had a Red Bull this morning. As we stay on board still with Erez to set his first lap time, and he is on the softs. The red wall tyres there, just takes that corner very neatly there, goes round and straight down here, as he goes round this loop bend, goes into the straight here, doesn't activate the DRS, slows down in fact, to let this man through. That was Johnny Stokes, who's still not set a lap time. And this is Scotty 33R, and I think I've just seen a bit of the rain starting to come down, so maybe a few drivers, if the rain is coming down or starts to come down, they'll want to get out, get the time set, as he takes that bend very nicely there. We'll quickly just jump on board with him as he activates DRS here on the mediums. Yes, the rain is starting to come down, as you can see there on the dashboard of Scotty H33R, as he loses a little bit of grip there as well, so maybe a few drivers are going to need to get out, they're going to need to get them time set. People like Johnny Stokes, Carl Froud, Erez and RPR Ford, they're going to need to get these time set now as it starts to rain, otherwise they won't be able to make this through to Q2, or Q3, apologies, they're going to be out. So maybe a few drivers knew it was going to be like this, and that's why a lot of them went out early. But let's jump on board with Johnny Stokes now on the soft tyres. Can he get round? Can he get a lap time in? He does. It's a 1:38.7, and that's currently not going to be enough to get him through, and I'm not too sure if they'll be able to improve on that with the rain starting to fall as well. And there is that man RPR Ford, he's going on the mediums. He's going to have to set a quick time here as the time is running out, 2.5 minutes left. And we'll quickly just get a nice shot of him coming into the bend there, rides the curve very nicely, gets the power down not too early as well, hard on the brakes there into sector 2. Really impressive with how some of these drivers are handling this track tonight, especially with the rain, the grease on the circuit. It's warming up the tyres to the temperatures. Few little incidents, maybe the odd driver hitting the wall, but very tricky street circuit. It's pretty much up there with Monaco. Hard on the brakes, not much top speed. You're looking at an average top speed of about 112 mile an hour, whereas Monaco's roughly about 93. So you have got that, but it is a lot longer, and maybe a few more overtaken, so that is better for the drivers, but they'll want to qualify higher up. As you look there at RPR Ford, maybe struggling a little bit with the grip on the medium tyres now, but he's going to be coming around the final bit of sector 3, looking to make that time count. And he starts his final lap now on the home straight. What time will he do? So he has actually set a 1:38.4, and I don't think that will be enough to see him through. Bit disappointing there for him. And we'll stay on board now with Erez as he looks to get a lap time set. As we go on board with him, goes past RPR Ford, who I think he knows he's out of this, and he will stay in P11 for the race. But as you can see there, the rain really coming down now, starting to not be very heavy, but that will be enough to just throw the car maybe off balance with the tight circuit as well. As you can see, he goes a little bit deep, doesn't take the corner at the greatest angle, but still gets power down very, very good there, very early on that, as he comes round to this very tight 90-degree bend, doesn't ride the curve too much, very nice. So at the current standings there, JR Lattis, very quick time, top of the grid. He'll be certainly want to make a mark in Q3 and cement that front row, with James Al wanting to get into the top, into the front row as well. Maybe you can get that P1 off JR up there, but we're going to stay up with this man Erez to see if he can set a time, and see where he can get put. as he comes. Oh, and he's hit the wall. That's going to impact his time a lot. I don't think this is going to see him through. I think this is going to be Q2 exit for him, and I think he's left it a bit too late there with the rain coming down. I just can't see him getting through with that, and that's a 1 foot. No, he's definitely going to be starting in P14 as a 148 there. So your top 10 are JR Lattice in first, James Owl 90, F1 X Gen, Can't Be Touched 91, Shorty 62, RPR Chubb, Scotty H33R in 7th, Azerbaijana in 8th, JR Malin in 9, James McSeevey in 10. They will go ahead and shoot out for the pole position and their front row grid. But the people not quite through: RPR Ford, Johnny Stokes, Carl Froud, and this man Erez Hamid Zarachi and Johnny Travolta, who didn't set a lap. Let's see what the drivers will set in Q3. Alright, and here we are in Q3, 12 minutes going on the timer. Rain starting to come down again like Q1. Will that maybe dry out a bit late? But we've got the now top 10 shootout here. Quickly run through them top 10 again for you if you've maybe just joined. And that is Scotty H33R, Azerbaijana, James MDCV. Again, apologies for the names. Can't Be Touched 9-1. JR Lattice, he set the fastest time in Q2. JR Malin there, F1 X Gen. James Owl, he was in second in Q2. RPR Chubb and Shorty 62. We'll see who that is coming out of the pits on the intermediate tyres, and we'll see if we can get on board with him. And that is this man, JR Lattice. Will he get that pole position? Will he cement that excellent time on the mediums that he set in Q2? Or will someone else be able to pip him to that? A lot of cars coming out as well for their outlap. Only 2 people left in the pits, and that is Azerbaijana and James Mitsivi. I mean, if anyone's watching in the live stream, who do you feel will get pole? Do you feel like it will be this man, or do you feel maybe someone else? If you are watching, give us a little comment in the section just to maybe put a bet on it. You know, who do you think? As this man JR Lattice again coming round the last bit of sector 3. Rain very heavy there. Intermediates The right tyre at the minute, you got to feel the rain's not that heavy, but it is coming down quite a bit. As this man is starting his first lap, comes across the line to start that now, and we'll get the times up to see where he is. A little bit of a wobble there on the back end, that will just be due to the wet weather and the intermediates, especially on this track. It's constantly on the brakes, constantly off the brakes on the acceleration, not much top speed needed. As you can see behind him, just warming up his tyres there, that driver. We'll stay on board with him, but we're going to have a quick look now at this man as well, JR Manley, who's always crashed. Oh, it's yellow flag. Oh, as we go on board with him, yeah. Is that the front wing damage there? He's going to have to come in and get a new front wing. That's going to cost him a little bit. Hopefully he can get out and set a time. As you can see there, the two side bits of the front, and he's wobbling all over the place. He's really got to be careful here. Don't want to damage that car too much. We want to get in the pits, but again, with the downforce needed, especially within these tight bends, can he get there? A bit of a lock up on the front left, slides over. This is not looking good for JL Manley. He's really got to get into the pits. As he stops to let the car through. Another car coming behind him though, so yeah, went on board for him just as he made that mistake. Maybe the pressure there with the rain and everything like that, or maybe commentator's curse. So if it was, apologies JR Malin, but let's quickly just jump on board with JR Lattice here, who's coming around the last bit of sector 3. He will be the first man to set a time, followed not a million miles behind him is this man James Owl 90, and these two are going to be they were flying out for P1 in qualifying to that session, but here he is, JR Lattice. Now what time will this be? Looking about 1:55 I think, and that's a 1:56 just over, and now we'll look at what the James Owl can do with that as well. As we ride on board with him, another yellow flag there. Well, let's just quickly go on board with JR Malin. He's still got that front wing damage, going very, very slow. Oh, bit of a spin. Oh, but he controls that very, very nicely there. Again, without that front downforce, but he goes off the track there. He'll just want to get in, get the front wing on, get the time set. Spin again. Controlled it very nice. It's almost Tokyo drifting here, but it should be Singapore drifting. Vin Diesel would be proud of that actually. But he comes in now, so he's going to have to get that damage repaired. But let's quickly just jump on board with Shorty 6.2 set the fastest lap time, 1:57.7 there. So very decent time, but 1:57.9 followed by RPR Chubb, and then you've got F1 X-Gen there with a respectable 1:58.1. and I don't think that the medium or soft tyres will come into play with the rain, the way that's coming down. And I think a few of the drivers will hope certainly that it's not this kind of weather conditions on race day, because with the circuit and the pressure of racing, it's not so bad in qualifying, because it's you know, you're racing against yourself almost. But in the race, when you've got that pressure and you're trying to catch up to someone, you might just lose a bit of concentration, might just let the car slip a bit too much into the corner. As a Vajana sets a 2:06.7 and can't be touched actually, and a few drivers not actually going out on the full wet tyres, so maybe the people on the intermediates have gone out at the right time there. So JR Lattice, so the man who took first position in Q2 and who always been beaten by this man James Owl, he actually was in P2 in Q2, so he's done it. He's beaten JR Lattice. He's got that revenge from Q2 when it matters there, so he's going to be happy with that, and I don't think many times are going to beat that really. So I think that will be, well, it is provisional pole, but I think that might be pole for him there in P1 in Q3 as the rain continues to fall. We'll quickly go on board with him as he's looking to kind of rest the engine now, get into the pits as he goes actually just under this little bit of a dry track under the building there. But yeah, let's go on board with maybe a few other people. So we'll go on board with this man Can't Be Touched here. He's on the full wet, so he's going to have the extra grip, but a bit of a slow pace you've got to imagine. And we've had a comment by John Ford saying the rain killed him in qualifying. I mean, I can appreciate that. Rain's hard enough is the best time, but on this track or even Monaco, yeah, I'd rather you than me racing, to be honest with you. Team Kemet Racing, our money is on JR_Lattice. He looks set to finally win his championship. He's been so desperate to achieve now. Saturn has left. Go Jack go. And then John Ford with a laughing face. Can someone maybe upset them? Can James Owl upset JR Lattice from getting the win here, as this man Can't Be Touched just goes past him to set his first lap of the race. And we will just stay on board with Can't Be Touched just for a little bit, and then we will go to, now is it his teammate of James Mitsivi, and he is also on the wet tyres, so maybe them two feeling like they could get the extra grip, get the best out of the car with that. Can they maybe, you know, get towards a 157, 158, or will they be towards more like the 2-minute mark on the wets? Only time will tell. Is we'll quickly jump on board with Can't Be Touched as he looks to set his first lap. Where will this man go? Where will he be? Put your comments in the comment section. Oh, is he cuts that corner, so that lap will be invalidated there, and he will have to go again. So we'll jump on board with his teammate to see if he can set a time. That's the rain there, very heavy, as you can see. The track very waterlogged there. There's a little bit of an understeer there, a little bit of a wobble as he goes around there. Yeah, tweaking the throttle. Gets the power down now. This would normally be the DRS zone, but I mean, there's a reason why DRS isn't allowed in the rain. It would just be absolutely chaos. There's not enough grip as it is. Doesn't want to ride the curve too much. A little bit of a wobble. That's why he wouldn't want to ride that curve, as he's hard on the brakes now. Sends the car right. 40 mile an hour down to there, tries to find the racing line, flicks it in left, won't want to get on the curb, won't want to get that power down too early. Now we'll plant the power, there we go, picks up speed, ERS deployed, get that car hard on the braking, flicks it left, now gets the power down a little bit, but again on the braking, just these corners one after another. You got to feel that the stress of this circuit, especially in the rain, as he wobbles again, is proving a bit difficult for a few drivers tonight. But again, it's a very hard circuit at the best of times. As we'll look to see what the wet tyres will set. Will they? I mean, you've got to feel that maybe they won't beat the time of the intermediates, but as we're coming around now, we're about to find out what will this time be. It's currently 155, 156, 157, so the wet tyres there not doing a bad job, but that lap hasn't actually counted, so maybe a corner cut there. It's not come up on my screen as to what time he actually did. So the current fastest wet time is set by this man, Scotty 833R in the pits. I don't think he's going to improve on that. I think that will be 6, but we'll go to the current leader and the provisional pole, and I think that is going to be a front row lockout by James R90, who's going to want to get a good stop. But there's a yellow flag, and is that a crash? Let's have a look. Yes, it is. It's JR Mal in there on the intermediates. Maybe just not enough grip, and maybe the wet tyres was the way to go. As he tries to warm up the tyres now. But he's not got long, so he's in sector 3 and he's got about 25 seconds if he wants to set another lap time, and I don't think he'll be able to do that, especially with the sharp bend. So whatever lap time he sets, but he is on the out lap, so he might not even set a time. He might have to just, and he's crashed. Oh, and the front wing's gone. As I was just saying that, I've jinxed it again. I'm gonna have to shut up. As he realises, yeah, the lap's gone, he's going to have to settle for P10. So not a great qualifying for him, will he? I mean, he's done well to get into Q3, but a bit disappointing there to not get a time set. But he will start at the Q10 along with Can't Be touch unless he can set a decent lap time. But let's quickly run down it. Q3, so we've got on provisional pole unless a better lap time can be set. James Owl 90, JR Loutis on the front row with him. Shorty 6-2, RPR Chubb second row, F1 X-Gen. He did 2 laps, he's done a 1:58.1. Scotty H33R, he will start 6th as the current settings go. James MD CV, he is the 2-minute mark, he's on the wets. And then Azerbaijan, he is a 2:06.797, and this man JR Mallon not setting a time, taking that front wing damage, hitting the wall a little bit, maybe just got a bit too early on the throttle there. But maybe he'll go back, maybe discuss that with the team, see what they can put, maybe more downforce on the car. Only time will tell in the race whether or not it will be dry. Hopefully it will be fun, hopefully we get a good race, but we look forward to that as we will move into the race day. Hope you enjoyed the qualifying. The drivers there were marvellous time sets, excellent racing in the qualifying sessions, but we'll move on to racing soon. And here we are for the Singapore Grand Prix. We await the 5 red lights. And away we go. And the race has started. Into the first corner there. JR Loutis, James Owl into the lead. Yellow flags already. A few people dropping down the grid. And Avi 84 GT up 8 places, but not as good as this man. We'll go on board with him now. RPR Ford, he's up 9 places there as we quickly go on board with him on the mediums, but a yellow flag in place, so no overtaking for now. Remarkable start there by him. Let's just quickly go on board with the race leader now, James Owl, as let's have a quick look what went on to see if we can find out. It was Shorty 6-2 there, right at the back with front wing damage, so maybe some contact there, maybe contact with another driver, or did he go into the wall? That's gonna, I mean, he's gone down 15 places, so he's gone from 4th there, and there's a 5-second time penalty, severe collision with Carl Froud, and that's for it's Edu. This is Edu, so he's up 4 places with a time penalty as well. Gleggy 991, 5-second penalty, severe collision with Carl Froud, so Carl Froud's been in the wars there, and let's just have a quick look at his car to see if he's got any damage or anything like that. Another penalty for ignoring a yellow flag for this is Edu, 5 seconds, so he's got 10-second penalty, so not a great start for that man, even though he is up 4 places, as we'll quickly go on board with him here. So he's currently on a 10-second time penalty. That's not the greatest there, and the safety car is actually out. And we will just quickly jump on board through here. There's a lot of drivers now trying to warm up the tyres, get the grip with the safety car being out. I think a lot of them will be happy that the rain isn't coming down here, but as they'll start to queue up soon. So we'll go on board with the leader again. This is James Owls. He's starting to come round the corners to the safety car, and they'll want to get that debris cleaned. A few penalties there. Don't really know what to make of that. I missed that bit as we were looking at the front runners there, but I mean, Shorty there massively impacted, down 15 places, huge loss. He'll want to gain that back. He'll want to make an improvement. As you can see, JR Lout is weaving in and out. But James Owl just doing a Kimi Räikkönen, not bothering warming up the tyres there. Just driving. Iceman running in his veins there almost. But let's go on board with this man who is the favourite from the comments section looking at it. You know, actually being said that he could win the championship. Can he do it? Can he take that position? I mean, will he get the maximum points? Will he get 26 points and get the fastest lap as well, or will he have to settle for the 18 or 19 points in P2? That is the target there, but he's really getting the grip into the tyres as we come round for another lap with the safety car and a few cars there. So we'll quickly just jump on board with Shorty as he comes out the pits. He's had a front wing replaced, and what tyres has he gone on? So he's gone on to the hards there, so he's going to go for a massive stint on them hard tyres there, and try and get away with doing just the 2-stop. Probably now going to think about having to go from hards to mediums to finish the race, or I mean, he might try and go aggressive but lose a lot of time on the grips, on the softs. But we'll quickly just move up the board. So we're going to see on board, so Gleggy as well gone on the hards there, so maybe he's thinking as well with the damage in the first kind of few corners, he's going to have to go for a massive stint. Carl Froud as well, he's gone on the hards, and he had a lot of impact. He was involved in a lot. There was a few time penalties given out because he was involved, but not to him. And then we'll move up. X-Gen, he's coming, he's on the hards, and then we'll have a look here. So this is Ed Ju. He's got a few time penalties. He's still on the soft tyres, I believe, the red wall tyres there. And then Johnny Travolta mediums. You got Hud Sojo mediums, Avi 84 GT, great start there, up 7 places. He's actually come from the back row of the grid, but he's on the white wall tyres there, so he may be looking to try a 1-stop today, go from hards to mediums. Erez in 11th, so predicted strategy here just come up, so he's looking to go from mediums to hards, or if he does a 2-stop, mediums and hards. So a little bit of an information maybe onto what he's thinking there with his strategy, and then into the top 10 we go here. So this man Scotty H33R, he's currently taken up the last of the points positions. That 1 point could be vital for anyone in a race, so he'll have a lot of pressure breathing down his neck as we'll look to get restarted. Azerbaijani here, he is on the yellow wall tyres. Johnny Stokes just front again on the mediums, but he's up 3 places. James MD Civil in number 21 there, I believe. He's on the yellow tyres. RPR Ford up 9 places. Huge jump there, just absolute massive dive bomb. Sent the car. He's gone from P15, I believe. I mean, he's had a fantastic start there, so hats off to him, as he will look to improve on that. Will he get a podium today? That is the question. JR Malin, who also gone up 4 places, he didn't set a time in Q3, remember. He's done a fantastic job there. But RPR Chubb, the teammate of RPR Ford, is currently in 4th, just outside the podiums, as someone runs a little bit wide there just behind him and can't be touched, is still in P3, number 22 there on the yellow wall tyres. JR Lausus, again the favourite here, from reading the comments. Will he jump James Owl? Will he get a good start off the back of the safety car? And then this man currently leading the way. Soft tyres, he's going to look to want to get a furious start from the safety cars. He will look to set that pace going forward, as we'll quickly just nip on board with him now behind the safety car, as we'll probably see him dart and weave in and out of the track to get the heat into the tyres, to get the grip before they put their foot down for the restart. I mean, again, people that are watching this in the comments, I mean, who do you feel, I mean, if this is a kind of a straight battle for James Owl and JR Lattis, who do you feel, I mean, I know the favourite is JR Lattis, but do you feel that maybe one of them two is going to win this, or will maybe Can't Be Touched or RPR Chubb, will they maybe spoil it? I mean, what are the predictions? Do we maybe feel that, again, this man Shorty, do you feel like he can reclaim them 15 places, or maybe is that too much to do? He is going to look to do the hot tires, and there's a spin there. So that was Sojo there. As I was talking, he spun. He's now at the back. Yeah, what happened there? Maybe he just got a bit too early on the powers. We look to restart this now, so we will jump on board with the Lace Reader here. This is James Owl 90 with a 1 second lead, and he's really going for it now. He's going to want to escape and get a bit of a lead, as he is on the faster tyres as well. He's going to want to make this first stint count. He's going to want to escape the drivers behind him. JR Louses Can't Be Touched, but we're going to quickly jump on board to see what is going on behind him. So this man here, Can't Be Touched, can he get up to P2? Can he spoil the fun for JR Lattis, or will maybe a few other people? Oh, yellow flag again. Oh, and there's a man there's a driver stop there, and it's this man. He's not having a good race. He is actually on a 10-second time penalty. He's spun. He's at the back of the grid. He's not having a great race here. And oh, a corner cutting 5-second time penalty for James MD Civil, or Civi, sorry, so he's running up in, where's he running to? James MD, I'm struggling, he's in 5th, so he's got a 5-second time penalty, which, looking at it now, with that in play, that's going to take him to about 10th currently, but as the race goes on, only time will tell with that, as this man again, he's pushing off. He's wanting to escape, as he goes very close to the wall there, but only time will tell with the tyre wear coming into play. This is a very demanding track, hard on the brakes. You've got to feel like the front, especially the front tyres, are going to take a lot of pressure. As he takes that corner maybe a little bit short, cuts across it, but the fastest 3-second time penalty, just as the fastest lap was set, so Can't Be Touched, 3-second time penalty for cutting corners with multiple warnings there. So that's going to affect him, and that might take him just away from the top 2. So I think it is going to be a straight race between James Owl and this man again, JR Lazarus. There's another yellow flag there at the back, and it's this man, JR Malin, he's crashed. That's going to be front wing damage. That's not good. He's not having a good race as well, as this man's in the pits, Johnny Travolta. But RPR Ford, a lot of cars coming in for new front wings. As this man as well comes in, JR Malin. I don't know what to make of this. Just incidents everywhere, especially at the back towards the back end. As again, James Owl on board with him. He's just carrying on his race. He's not getting involved. He's trying to make a 2-second lead, a 2-second gap. Apologies there. 2-second place. Can he make it stick? Can he get to the end and win this race? and a yellow flag again towards the back end. And let's have a quick look to see if we can find out what's gone on there. And it's this man again. So this is Hud Sojo. He's spun again. He's really not having a great race here in Singapore. He's not doing too well, but can he get some confidence? Can he get some form? I'm sure he can, as he's got front wing damage again on the right hand side, so downforce is going to be not the greatest coming through the corners, which is so important on this track. But we're going to quickly jump on board with this man, Scotty H33R. The reason we're jumping on board is these three cars are fighting for 7th. Five cars, sorry, fighting for 7th there. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and the 5. So this is the fight between 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th and 11th there, all so close to each other. You're looking at about 3 seconds between a lot as they come round the final bend onto the next straight. We're going to quickly jump on board. Oh, that's a great exit there. Can he make a move? No DRS though just yet, so maybe you'll wait for the DRS. Great exit there by Scotty H33R, as this man in front of him, Azerbaijan Janet, is looking to kind of maintain 7th position with a 4-second gap to Johnny Stokes here, who we're going to ride on board with as he plants the ERS and the DRS to try and close that gap to 5th, who has got a time penalty as well. And a bit of a kick out there to Frith. That's going to affect him. It's a patient game though for Johnny Stokes, as the back end kicks out again, just a little bit there for the driver in 5th of James. I'm just going to have to say James from now on. Apologies, I can't pronounce your last name. I'm really sorry about that. But again, apologies, and you know, feel free to have a go at me after the race for pronouncing your last name wrong, as we get a great overshot there from the helicopter going through the bridge, going around the shop end, takes that corner very nice there, as you can see from Johnny Stokes. Gets that DRS, gets the ERS, go on board with him now as he looks to make the move. Can he get it in? Can he send it? He's going to... Oh, no, he's backed off. Oh, and he sends it. Oh, and a massive lock-up there. James, massive lock-up. Johnny Stokes just gets away with that. Goes straight down the pressure. Built too much there. Johnny Stokes with a fantastic move there. Moves him up to 5th. Can he now chase down this man, RPR Chubb, who's running in 4th, who's got a 7-second gap from 3rd place? So it is looking like the front three are escaping, but there's a yellow flag as well, and it was this man, it was James Howell. So he had a bit of an incident there, maybe coming into the pits. Not too sure what happened there, but we'll quickly move on with Johnny Stokes as he goes past into 4th position now. 1 free place for him there, as the current driver of James Howell is in the pits. He's currently ran into 10th as the number 9 car here looks to come towards the end of sector 1 in the DRS zone. No DRS obviously, with not being within 1 second. But let's have a quick look at the front runners here. So this is the current race leader, JR Lautus again, but he's been hunted down by Can't Be Touched here, and they will be coming up to a DRS zone, and he's going to be well within that. I mean, 0.6 seconds, I do feel like he's not going to be able to quite make that, as they'll get the DRS activation coming up. 100 meters left now, goes round the corner early on the power, gets that DRS, will go on board. Will he activate ERS to kind of catch up, or will he save that? He's going to save that. He's just going to slowly but steady try and close that gap, and we'll quickly jump on board with JR Lautus as he looks to come through sector 3 now. That was a great shot there, just coming round the last bit towards the end of sector 3 under the little bridge. Flicks the car right, but let's see what's going on a bit further down. Let's maybe go on board with Avi84 GT as we just go down. Here he is. He's just 8/10 behind. Is this man Erez Hamzarechi? But this man is on the hard tyres, so he's up 10 places on a set of hard tyres. So he started at the back. He's doing a remarkable job. Currently my driver of the day there. As we get a great shot there as he comes onto the home straight, gets that rear wing open to close that gap up to 8th position. But let's quickly just head up the line up, can't be touched. He's still hunting down that first position, and he's very, very close there. Half a second now in it. We're going to quickly stay on the helicopter camera shot to just have a quick look to see if he can make this move, as he will want to possibly get him in a DRS zone. Few corners. Oh, and there's another yellow flag. Let's quickly see if we can find out. And it's this man again, Hud Sojo again with the yellow flag, not quite making the corner. Number 69, not quite finding the grip, maybe, as we now quickly go on board with Can't Be Touched. He can't get that rear wing open because there's a safety car. That might, I mean, I feel for him there because he was closing that gap phenomenally. But yeah, yellow flag out, safety car, all the cars will line up. Will we maybe see a few pit stops, get on fresher set of tyres? We are 8 laps into this, so it's maybe something to consider, especially for the front runners that maybe haven't made a pit stop. We'll just quickly have a look at that. So yeah, stops there. We've got a few people on the stops towards the back end of the grid, but this is maybe a free pit stop for a lot of the drivers. Maybe get on a set of hards or a set of mediums, and do a massive stint now in the middle. As I said, JR Loutis here coming in to the pit, so we'll quickly stay on board with him to see what tyres he goes on to in the pit lane. But just behind you, and again, Can't Be Touched coming in. He is going into the pits, and what tyre will he go on? So he's going on to the yellow wall, so he's going to try and maximise the stint on the set of mediums. Will he overtake this man JR Loutis in the pit lane, or will he not quite? And he's going on the hards, and there seems to be a problem in the pits, as Can't Be Touched, he goes through, he takes the lead. What happened there in the pits? And he's still in the pits. Oh, and it's a front wing change, not good. So the favourite is down in 5th. The pit, not a great pit stop, but Can't Be Touched now on the fresh set of mediums. He's looking strong. He's looking like the favourite. Is Shorty there? He goes through. He goes into second. He's on the hard tyres. There, and as we can see here, so we're going to just have a quick look at how old some of the tyres are. So we've got this man and the leader of F1 Next Gen on 6 lap old tyres. We've got a few people on the fresh tyres, so you've got to feel like Can't Be Touched will make that time of the restart on the mediums. He'll have the extra grip in the car. Scotty H 3R on the soft tyres there, but this is Edu on 6 lap old tyres of soft, so he's going to be must be thinking about considering coming in soon, as we get a nice little helicopter shot there of the front runners and the safety car. As they're just weaving around, getting the heat, getting the traction into the tyres, accelerating quickly, probably slamming on the brakes. Get the heat into the brakes. You don't want to let them all go cold. You don't want no grip, and you certainly don't want no brakes, especially on this track. You'll just slam straight into the wall. And you know, we've already seen a lot of front wing changes here. I don't think we want to see any more. But let's have a quick look as well at the position change. So this man at the front, F1X Gen, up 9 places, currently the most improved here, with Galegi down in 7th. So we'll quickly go on board with him. We've not been on board with him much. So this man here, number 19, with his teammate just behind him of Cole Froud, he's up 7 places, his teammate's up 4. They're both in point positions, so they're doing really well. Can they maybe take them points home, or will they maybe drop just out of them? But you know, this man here, James Al, he's coming in on the pits. He's on the mediums now. Let's quickly go on board with our RPR Chubb, and he is on the mediums as well, looking like a fresh set for him. Let's just have a quick look at that. Yes, they are. So he's not done any laps on them currently, so he's going to be fighting for them, kind of, you know, the top 2 positions here. Can he maybe get a bit of an advantage on Can't Be Touched, because them 2 on the mediums, fresher tyres, faster tyres, going to have a lot easier to get the grip levels up, and they should just breeze by the front 2 runners currently. As you can see there, a big massive trainer car just weaving in and out, getting the heat into the tyres, almost snaking as we went down that front straight. The safety car should be in this lap, as we will move on to lap 11 after this, lap 10. Just so far in the comments, I mean, what's everyone thinking of the race? What's everyone thinking of the action with the front wings and the pit stops? Again, with looking at the grid, you know, are you still confident that JR Loutis can cement the win, maybe look to get his first championship, or will it be someone else now? Will Can't Be Touched, will RPR Chubb get into the top 2 on the mediums, as we are on board with him now, and we will stay on board with a nice helicopter shot again there. Lovely little view. Cameraman working excellent wonders there, making my life easy to commentate on this race. But it's anyone's to play for. You've got to feel that within reason, within the kind of, you know, you're looking here, you've got a few people on 7-lap old hard tyres. They're not going to be the fastest now, as that, you know, the tyres are going to lose a little bit of time to, especially the people behind on mediums. You've got this Scotty H33R. He's one to watch in 10th, so he's in the last points position there. We're going to quickly jump on board with that man, just to quickly see. He's on the softs. He's not done a lap on them yet, so he's going to be very quick on the restart. What can he do? 100% ERS. He's got it all to go for. Can he jump some positions? Can he escape? He should be escaping the guy behind him of James MD Civvy, who's on the hards, but he's going to want to do a massive stint. Maybe he's thinking, maybe these people that have come in and gone on the hards, the likes of Johnny Stokes here that we're on board with, maybe they're thinking, go on the hards, get a massive stint done, maybe go to, you're looking, or maybe even go to the end, you know, it's 21 laps, or maybe go on them, get the most out of the tyres, and then just absolutely plant it in at the end, go on the softs, go for that mad stint for the last maybe 4 or 5 laps, maybe go for the last point on the fastest lap. I mean, what are we thinking here? I mean, I wish I had a co-commentator, because you know, the kind of strategies that we could be discussing would be phenomenal. So if anyone does fancy co-commentating with me, if you are enjoying the commentary, if you are enjoying the live stream of this race of Singapore, you know, feel free to give the league a message, maybe give the admins a message, say you want to co-commentate with me. There's only so much I can talk to myself. But yeah, we're looking at the restart now, so the safety car is in and away we go. F1 XGen here, great start, so he's going to have the advantage out this time, but shortly closing up behind him, and this man can't be touched. As I was saying, on the mediums, 0.4 seconds behind. He's going to want to get away, he's going to want to get these two in the front, he's going to want to get them quick as well. As we go behind RPR Chubb now, he's going to want to close that gap. JR Loutis, the favourite, he's on the hards, he's currently half a second behind his 4th. Let's quickly have it. So as I was saying, Scotty H33R already up in position, looking to close this gap. Yeah, he goes into 8th. He's going to be the one to look out for now on them soft tyres, as he's going to look to get into 7th, get James out. So he's going to have to come in on for another set of tyres, which you've got to imagine, as the predicted kind of telemetry told me before, you're looking at probably the soft tyres there. As we look at the stops, everyone's made a stop now. Position changes again. The front runner F1 XGen still up 9 positions there. But let's have a quick look to see what we can find. So this is the gap to the current race leader. So you got 0.5 yellow flag again, and that's it, and that's the pink car. Let's have a quick look. That's Carl Froud 983. Let's see what's happened there. He has, let's just have a quick look. We're going to quickly see if we can go on board with him here. He's on the hards. Wonder what happened there. And there's another yellow flag with Johnny Stokes falling down the order. He's in 11th, so he's had maybe a bit of contact there. I wonder if something comes up on my screen. So don't know what happened there on the restart. Maybe if there was contact. But again, Scotty H33R into 7th place now, looking to get that gap, looking to get maybe into the top 4 with the soft tyres. But you got to feel he's going to have to pit again. Another yellow flag in that sector, just behind him, as it's F1 XGen. So the race leader, he's going down, he's spun, he's crashed, it's front wing damage, he's coming in to the pit stops again. Another car with front wing damage, and he's got to let everyone through. So his race, he's got a lot of work to do. Oh, and there's a crash. What happened there? Severe collision, 5-second time penalty. I mean, J.R. Malin just drove pretty much straight into the back of Carl Froud. I mean, that's got to be looked at. That's got to be looked at by the shoes at the end of this race. I don't want to sound like I'm dobbing anyone in it, but drove straight into the back. We got a clear view of that. I don't know what he was thinking there. Just not very sportsmanship there. I just don't know what happened. As he's got front wing damage as well, so we're going to jump on board anyway again with Scotty, just to quickly see how he's getting on the soft tyres, as he's chasing down this front pack here, and he should have the advantage there. But let's have a look. So the fastest lap is currently with James Owl at a 140, so he's currently got that extra point, but he's being chased down very fast by Scotty there. as Galecki goes very, very deep there, as he's now overtaken by and moves down to 8th position, and the intervals there, we'll just get that timing up now for you, and TV, we'll go on to the TV pod for you with Azerbaijan, and another yellow flag again, and there's been another incident here. Let's just see if we can quickly go on board with that man, and it's this man again. This is Edu. He's already got time penalty. He's going very, very slow there, so the back runner is struggling. I mean, this circuit is hard at the best of times there, and a few incidents, especially to review from what we can see, but a fastest lap time, it has been made by Can't Be Touched, and he's out in front now. He's got 2.2 second lead on the mediums, so he's currently got that extra point. But we're going to go on board with JR Lautis. He's made it back up to P3, the favourite, but again, like I was saying, this man, he's looking dangerous. Scotty H33R, he's looking to get into 4th position. He's on the softs. He's got the DRS now. Can he make a move? Can he get into P4? Can he chase down the front three on this race? We're going to go on board as he looks to close down James Owl here. And let's just jump on board with him again as he's going to look to make that move. DRS activate there. You got a good fight here going on between the top, between Scotty, James, Shorty, and JR Lautis, with the leader here just escaping now. Can't Be Touched. But we're going to say with this developing, so James Howell right up the exhaust there of Shorty, fighting for that P3, but he's got to be really careful here because the teammate is Scotty H33R of Shorty. Sorry, Scotty is right behind him. So can these two work together? Can they kind of take James and knock him down to 5th, and maybe get P3 and P4 today? But it is looking like Can't Be Touched should be escaping. Will he take the race win as DRS here comes into play? Shorty's got to be careful now as he goes for the dive bomb down the inside. Can he make it stick? Oh, hard tyres, soft on the medium tyres, side by side there for a little bit, but no, he couldn't, as James Howe comes under pressure now from Scotty on the soft tyres. But can he make this? Can he get into P3? As he goes around the outside, we're going to go on board with him as he goes back and switch back, and he's worked, and he's going into P3. That's a fantastic move there as the DRS activates. Shorty down to P3, who's going to come under pressure now from his teammate, who moves into P4, and maybe that's just a team order just to say to get into P4. And will that be team orders? You know, I think what Scotty will be saying there is, let me go after him. I'm on the soft, you're on the hard. I've got the faster pace, and he's certainly going to want to get P3, want to get revenge for his teammate there. But excellent racing and an excellent bit of, you know, work from the cameraman to get that shot of the overtaken there. But we'll go on board with this man as he's looking to get into P6. So this is, as he goes to make a dive bomb there, and this is Avi GT, Avi 84 GTs. He's looking to close this gap. Oh, and he goes a little bit deep there, going to lose a bit of time into the DRS. No, sorry, not quite the DRS zone, just come out of that. Let's just quickly jump on board with Scotty again on the soft tyres, half a second in it, as he looks to come, he's just come out of the DRS zone, as he'll look to get an advantage into the next DRS zone. Can you get that gap down from half a second? As we'll quickly go on board, DRS activated. Will he use DRS or will he save it? He's not going to use it now, and he's not gaining too much time there, so James Al's still got some pace on the mediums. As he had a little bit of a drift there, the back end kicking out, so maybe he's feeling some tyre wear on the mediums. They are 7 laps old and the gap is closing, but let's quickly jump on board with Avi84GT, who is closing the gap just out of the DRS zone there. His teammate, I believe, or from what I can see. Apologies if I got that wrong. I think I might have done, so apologies if you're not teammates. and Johnny Stokes there just running a comfortable 8th. Not really any pressure on him, you know, the car behind him here 5 seconds, and also Avi 84 GT, who we will say we're going to go on board with actually with the DRS open. Can he make a gap? Can he get this gap closed down? And another yellow flag there as we quickly will go and find that car, and it is this man James MD Civi. He's gone off. He's gonna, luckily no damage, so he's gonna join the track just in front of, this is Edu. A lot of cars maybe just not confidence with the downforce, as we already said that, you know, through qualifying, a lot of cars probably just using very, very high wings, because just getting that car planted, you know, just it's on and off the throttle, on the brakes, hard on the brakes, not really much overtaking as he takes that corner very nice there. We'll quickly go on board with him as he just goes onto the curve very, very nice as he goes across the line in a 158 there. Takes that corner very nicely. We'll just go to this man behind him now, so this is Edu, as he looks to hunt him down, both on the same tyres, both on the same kind of laps done on them tyres was 6, but this man, he's done 13 laps now. The only other person to do that many is Shorty62, who is currently running up in 5th, and his teammate Scotty H, as you look on the times on the left, he's closing that gap to James Al in 3rd. He's got to be careful, James, now, but can't be touched, still out in front. And with it, oh, and a yellow flag again, and that's in sector 1. And let's just quickly have a look at that. And it's F1X Gen, I believe, and that's a retirement. Yeah, so F1X Gen did not finish. He is out, and he went out in sector 1, but we're on board with the race leader. Can't be touched, having a very good race here. Hats off to him. Just comfortably out 4 seconds in the lead. Same, but you know, you got to feel like the tyre wear may start to kick in soon. Whereas JR Lout is still on the hard. Still, they've done the same lap distance. So you got to feel like JR Lautis may be able to close that gap a bit. There's a little bit of a lock-up, little bit of smoke tyre coming off the front right there. But I mean, he's got a comfortable bit of a lead here. 4 seconds doesn't sound a lot, but 4 second gap, it doesn't matter how much you win by, as he looks to come round now the last bit of sector 2, and he'll be in going on to a little bit of a straight here, which would be a DRS zone if we get a nice shot there of the rear wing and the rear tyres. And we'll just go on board with him now as he's planting the throttle down. Let's just move down your grid. So your current race leader can't be touched as we just go, we've gone past the halfway stage now, so can't be touched out in front. JR Lautis, the favourite, in P2. James Owl, this man, in P3. Shorty on the hard, 14 laps old, in 4th. Azerbaijana in 5th, but he's under increasing pressure there. Oh, and it's a move. He's going to make it. Is he going to make the lunge? He's not quite made the lunge of Avi 84 GT, but he's gone on the inside and he's overtaken. Oh, he's made a fantastic move there. Up into P5, just as we were going down the order. And Azerbaijana there, I mean, he's going to want to try and get that place back. Not going to be too happy with that, as they are coming round this last bit of sector 3. Will he get the DRS? Will he maybe make a move? But as we were saying, RPR Chubb, we're going to quickly go back on board with Azerbaijana and then carry on with the order just as they come into DRS. We're going to jump on board with him now. Can he close the gap? Using a lot of DRS can't quite close that gap down, and we're going to move on down the grid. As I said, RPR Chubb having a comfortable race there, 7th. Scotty H 33R, he's made his pit stop now. He's on the medium, so he's going to maybe look to extend that and get to the end. RPR Ford on the hards, 12 laps old, running on the white line there. Johnny Travolta, and this man, there is a yellow flag, and it's this man, Colfraud. He spun. He spun. He's on the hard tyres. Yellow flags, and his teammate Gleggy is going to be looking to maybe come past him as he spins it back. Is there maybe front wing damage again? Will there maybe be another front wing change in this Grand Prix? No, there isn't. So he gets away with minimal damage there, but he's going to have to start again from P16 and look to build his way up there. But let's have a look. The fastest lap was the man that's actually retired. So 1:38.8, that's got to be beaten, because the man that's retired has got that. But let's quickly have a look at the leader. They are the current standings, so you've got a few people there just a bit back, and like I said, JR Loud is closing the gap there on the hard tyres. The same kind of, you know, tyre with the same amount of laps on them tyres, and the hard tyres now just going to be settling in a bit more. But we're going to have a look again. So apologies for kind of, you know, we were going down the grid and we were on this man Johnny Travolta in 10th, James in P11, JR Malin who is in P12, Johnny Stokes in 13th, but don't forget he's just made his pit stop, so he's going to be quick now. He's going to be closing down that gap of 8 seconds to JR Malin. Erez Ham Zarachi on, oh, and another yellow flag. That is in sector 1, but that has been sorted out. I'm not too sure who that was. I believe, and I could be wrong, that could have been either Avi or 4th, 5th or 6th position with another yellow flag, and that is this man, JR Malin. Is he he nearly backs into Johnny Stokes. Oh, that very nearly took Johnny Stokes out of the race, and he hits the wall. And he's cut the corner. 3-second time penalty there. There's no getting away with that. He's got no grip, front wing damage. He's going to have to come into the pits there. He's going to have to get a front wing. Not a good bit of a stint. Maybe just lost all grip in the tyres there. Apologies again. We were going down the grid and he's finished. He's out. So a DNF there for JR Malin. Maybe just doesn't feel like he has it in the car this race weekend. But here we are with Carl Froud on the hards, 16 laps old, doing a huge stint here. Will he come in? I think he'll come in and get on the mediums, try and get the car to the end. But we'll go to his teammate now in Glaggy. He's on the mediums. This is Edu. He's just pitted. He's in P17, and this man who is a lap behind on the hards, he's going to the end. Hud Sojo with a lock up on the front right. But let's just quickly go to your race leader, who the gap has been cut to 1.8 seconds now, nearly getting in that DRS zone. So the hard tyres really rubbering in on this lap as we go in on lap 20. 1.8 seconds split these two, as we're going to just quickly jump on board with JR Lautis to see if that gap, see if he can get that lap down, as he's going to want to close that. He has got the advantage now with the set of hard tyres. We're just going to quickly see what the kind of pit stops are, what's kind of been done here. So stops here, you know, you got a few people coming in. You got this is Edu on 3 stops, 4 stops for Hud Sojo, so not a great race for him. A few people making the pits now. James Al and Azerbaijana coming in for their second stop, but the 2 front runners looking to make their second stop. And you know, JR Lautis I'd imagine would go to the mediums, see the you know, the remaining kind of 10 laps out, or will he go for a huge kind of stint here and stretch these hard tyres? Will he go onto the softs, get that pace, get that fastest lap, get the extra point? I mean, that is the option for him, whereas, you know, you've got to kind of feel it can't be touched. He's got to do a massive stint to get the most out of the mediums if he's thinking about going onto softs, or will he possibly look to go on to another set mediums or a set hard? We'll have a look. Let's kind of see what they've kind of done here. Let's see if we can get the information up for us. As Scotty H33R has set the fastest lap, so he's on a 1:38.682, so he's currently got that extra point. So hats off to him there, really pushing the car to the limit. As we go on board with the leader, who I mean, you look at it, he's going to be under pressure an awful lot here in a minute. You just got to feel like tyres are starting to give out. He's got to start considering coming into the pits, as he's been hunted down. 1.2 seconds. He's going to be in the DRS soon. JR is, as we're going to quickly view him here, and I mean, look at the gap here. 27 seconds to 3rd place, 30 seconds to this man. As just a huge gap. This man's going to hunt down Scotty. But he, again, 11 lap old tyres to Scotty's 3 laps. Scotty might try and stretch that, might try and go to the end. I'd imagine he would be, whereas this man's going to have to pit, so I don't think Scotty's going to be under threat by this man, and that should possibly get him a comfortable P4. There's another yellow flag, and we're going to quickly go down the order to find out who that is, as there looks to be another retirement. So virtual safety car though. So someone has crashed, and we're going to try and find out who that was. I believe there was a retirement on my screen, but it seems to have gone, so that's a bit weird. So apologies that I can't bring you that information just of yet. But we're going to quickly... Oh, and there was a retirement. I was correct. So it's just come up. Cole Froud's had a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So that's going to be added on as well. So he's come in to get off the hards. But this is Edu did with a DNF there. And a lot of cars now. Free pit stop. This is going to take him to the end of the race. Will it be... Oh, and the soft tyres there can't be touched. He's going to look to go very aggressive with 9 laps left. He should be able to stretch that. But what will JR Lautis do? He's gone on the medium, so you've got to feel that Can't Be Touched should have this now. If he can escape, if he can stretch the tyres for 9 laps, JR Lautis definitely going to the end. They're both definitely going to the end. But will the advantage pay off on the mediums, or will the risk of the soft tyres pay off? As we should be back to racing now, we're going to stay with the front runner, as we're going to jump on board with him. And a yellow flag again in sector 1, that's the purple car, and I believe that is Carl Froud. And we're going to quickly go on board with JL Outs again, just because there's a bit of action going on here. He's closing the gap. He's going to want to get past him early. If he can maintain kind of a 1 second gap, get the DRS, get the slipstream, and then the medium tyres will really kick in towards the end of this race, and he can look to take the win. So hats off to the people in the yellow flag again, and let's see who that is. Let's quickly go down the order. Apologies that we're going the kind of long way about this. And it was this man, it was Hud Sojo going into the pits now. What tyres he's going on to? Or is it going to be a retirement? No, so the front wing comes off, soft tyres, so he's going to go for an aggressive stop as well. But as you can see now, time just starting to slip away from JL out. It Can't Be Touched, just escaping a little bit too much there. But that's the difference between the soft and the hards. The soft just starting to rubber in a bit more, a lot more grip, as you see, very aggressive in that corner. Yeah, so he's out of the DRS, and another yellow flag, and that is one of the either Carl Fraud or Gleggy. But we're going to stay with this. We're going to quickly go on board with these two. So this is Carl Fraud, 2 laps old on the medium tyres, as he looks to go through sector 1 now. Rides curve, very nice, flicks the car in left on the brakes, and we'll quickly jump to his teammate who's just on the home straight. And this man's still not pitted. He's on 16 lap hard tyres, so he's going to have to pit here. And you've got to think he's going to have to go on the softs. He's going to have to push really hard. But let's just quickly jump back up the leaderboard. So this man in 11th, Johnny Stokes in. You've got so Avi84 just come into the pits, as I was saying. That this man's going to have to pit again. 17 lap old tyres, 2 lap old hard tyres. He's going to the end. RPR Chubb, he's probably going to have to pit and go onto softs, unless he can make an almighty stint work, which I can't see him lasting 8 laps on that. And if he does, very well done to him. But the top 3 now, Scotty H, and there is a 5-second time penalty to update you on for corner cutting, and that's Hud Sojo. JR Lautis, this is the man who is chasing down the leader, but we're going to go on board with this man for a little bit to watch a few laps. And DRS activated here by Can't Be Touched. He was overtaken by J.R. Lautis on the softs and mediums. So, I mean, I wonder what happened there. And apologies, I was just having a bit of a break. My throat is hurting from all the talking. I just went for a drink, so apologies I missed that bit of action for you. But as we'll look to stay on board to see if there is any more action, as you know, the gaps start to space out a bit. But we're going to jump down to the battle for 11th and 10th. So this is the battle for 10th now, as the Avi 84 GT looks to make that jump, and you've got to think it should be an easy Grand Slam. It should be straight and easy for him. 14 lap old hard tyres on James in front of him, and he's on fresh mediums going to the end. You've got to feel like this is an easy overtake. Will he do it before James pits, or will he just see it out and cement that 10th position? But it's looking like this should be your top 10 now. Oh, but as I say that, James Owl drops down to 9th, and there is a yellow flag, and I believe that could be who is that? Let's just have a quick look to see if I can find out for you. As we go on board with Avi 84 GT, as he comes round into the DRS zone, surely going to make this an easy overtake now, as there's a car off the track as well in sector 2. Let's quickly go and find that. But we're going to watch this dive bomb down the inside. Easy overtake there, as we said, on the medium tyres. But let's quickly go down the grid, find out who that is off the track, and it is this man again, Hud Sojo, with he is 3 laps behind now. He's not having a great race, but make it to the end. Do it for the pride. Let's see how he gets on for a bit. Let's go on board with him. Let's watch him for a bit. Give him that confidence boost as he cuts the corner there. 5-second time penalty for cutting that corner. Oh, and a car's off the track there. Let's have a quick look to find out who that was. But he seems to be back up and racing. But we're going to go up the grid now to see about the action. Oh, and a yellow flag again in that sector. And that is, I believe, this man. So that was Hud Soja going very, very slow there. 3-second time penalty again for corner cutting. As we look on board with Scotty H33R as we come into the last 5 laps now, as James Owl goes into P6 and RPR Ford, and there's another yellow flag, and that will be a DNF for Hud Sojo, retiring from the race. He's done a massive stint here, RPR Ford, 20 lap old hard tyres. I mean, surely not going to go to the end of the race. If he does, I mean, that's a massive. But just to give you a bit of information, it can't be touched. 3-second time penalty. So it's looking like the favourite is going to take the victory here, as he's got a 2-second lead with a 3-second time penalty on second place as well. We're going to jump on board with him. We're going to watch him for a little bit just to see what he can, and he's got the fast lap as well. This is surely going to be 26 points, 137, pretty much dead on. And let's just have a look. So he all made 2 stops. This is where he started, you know, P1. He's outpaced everyone in qualifying, outpacing everyone now. Just all in all, fantastic racing. and we're on board still with the leader of this race. As we come on to the last few laps now, he is currently coming round the sector 2 part of the track on his 28th lap. Let's see if we can bring you any more action on the race. It's looking like a 1-2, so JR Lautis can't be touched, P2, 3-second time penalty for RPR Ford, who's down in 8th. That is going to possibly affect him, so we're going to jump to that actually, because he's coming under increasing pressure, and there's a bit of a race going on here as the DRS between these three. RPR Ford actually just dropped down to 10th, and this man cuts the corner right across there, gained a bit of time, but we're going to jump on board with Avi84 GT. We're going to see if he can make a move on Azza Vajani, as he's been trying to make this move for a little bit, but he's up 10 places, so he's currently driver of the day for me. Let's just go on board with Avi84 GT. ERS, DRS deployed. Can he get the lunge? Will he go down the inside, or will he stick to the outside? Try and get the cut on him. No, he can't quite make it. On the acceleration early, right up the exhaust. He's going to have to make a lunge soon and go for it. He should make the lunge. He's going to have to go for P8. Get the extra bit of points. Get the extra bit of pride. Is Azerbaijani just maybe starting to buckle under the pressure, going very defensive there, nearly going up the back end of him as they look to come round the end of sector 3, going on the straight. We'll ride on board, we'll see if he can do this round the final bend onto the back straight. DRS going to be deployed now, straight ERS. Oh, and he goes for the overtake here. DRS easy straight into P8. Fantastic move, fantastic rating by Avi84 GT. 100% my driver of the day, up 11 places from P19. Don't think anyone's raced better than him. Bob, I mean, no, hats off, easily the driver of the day for me, and his heel now look to kind of close the gap on this man here, Johnny Stokes, who is up 4 places from P11, and he's running in P7. As we will now go on board with JR Lautis as he looks to come around the penultimate lap, the second to last lap. We're going to stay on board and we're going to see if he can bring this home. It's been a very entertaining race. Been a bit unsure on who's going to win, but as I said, Scotty H3R, he's having a great race as well. I think that stint on the soft tyres worked to his advantage there. Great strategy by the team, and his teammate just behind him in P4, so that's going to be a fantastic 3rd and 4th position for them there, so excellent teamwork. But we're going to stay on board now with the front runner, see if he can bring this home, as he's in to sector 2 here, just about to go into sector 3. We're going to go on board again with him. Oh, and a bit of a lock up there on the front right. The tyres starting to show their wear, but with the last lap remaining, I don't think that matters too much. Just get the car to the end. I think the team orders will be see it through, get the maximum points. Let's just check out who's got the fastest lap still. So the fast lap is with RPR Chubb, 136.852. Only man to do it under 136. So fantastic there. He's going to get the extra point unless someone can beat that time. But they are the intervals from this man, the race leader. 10 seconds to P2 as he started his final lap, and we're going to just stay with him to watch him bring this home in P1, as we're going to jump on board with him now into the braking zone, 50 yards or 50 metres I should say. That's a bit of a lock up again with the front tyre. The tyre's starting to lose grip, but not really much to worry about as he's got a 10-second lead. Going to bring this home, going to get the 25 points. Look to kind of make an impact on the championship. Not long to go now, just a few more corners. Comes round this one, flicks it left. We're gonna watch him come round, and your race winner tonight is JR Lautis. Fantastic racing, takes the points and seals the victory. Can't be touched here in second place, 13 seconds behind. Hats off to JR Lautis, fantastic racing tonight, can't be touched. He's going to come round in P2. Let's watch him as he crosses line. Another great race, seals the 18 points. Scotty H 3-3R is going to claim the last of the podiums here, unless we need penalties to be considered. But all in all, great racing. So yeah, Scotty H 3-3R has dropped down to P4. Can't be touched has dropped down to P3. Shorty boosted up to P2 with the time penalties added on, so he's gained a massive advantage there. RPR Chubb, he's coming round now. He's going to finish in P5. Let's see if he's still got that fastest lap. He has, so he'll get the extra point there, so hats off to him. All in all, a good race. And we're going to go to James Owl 90 now, as he's had not a bad race there as well, P6. And then Johnny Stokes crossing the line now, P7, but he is put down to P. So my driver of the day, this man, Avi84 GT, up 13 places, put into P6. Fantastic racing, hats off to him. And then we see the top 10 out with this man as he looks to complete. RPR Ford, he's up 5 places, and he will take the last of the points today. So all in all for that race, I've been your commentator. If you want to stay around for maybe the post-race interviews, feel free, as we will look to interview the race winner tonight. And there he is collecting his trophy. We're going to have a bit of silence now just to see if we can get him for an interview. Alright, so we're just going to have a quick interview now with the race winner. This will be JR Lautis. We're going to see what he made of the race and how he handled the pressure of this circuit and what he made of qualifying. And here he is, the race winner. This is J.R. Lautis. I believe his name is Jack. Hiya, Jack. How did you feel that went tonight?
It went pretty good. I can't lie.
Yeah.
I had a few hiccups here and there. One under the safety car with James, I think. That was my fault.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Well, it was great to watch, and congratulations on your win. You dominated in qualifying and things like that. I mean, just excellent overall. I mean, how did you handle that circuit? It's a very tricky circuit, isn't it?
It is, and it requires a lot more practice than I actually got. I think I had maximum 2 hours today, a few hours before the race. Yeah, it's a difficult track, and it threw up an entertaining race, I hope.
It was, yeah.
So, all over the place.
Yeah, so from where I was sat, there was a lot of front wing changes. I mean, did you have any contact? Was there any kind of damage in your race? Or?
Yeah. Under the first safety car.
Yeah.
So I was trying to find temp in my tyres, and James was right next to the safety car, so I put the power down.
Yeah.
Fed up, went next to him, and as I went next to him, he swerved out to warm his fronts up. Hit into me, and I got damaged, but it was my own fault. So,
didn't matter too much. You got the race. You got the 25 points. Didn't get the fastest lap. Yeah.
No, it was exactly.
Yeah. I mean, where is it you stand currently in the championship? Are you hunting it down? Because in the comments, the people said good luck to you, and they want you to win the championship. You were the favourite in the race.
I think I'm leading. I don't know though. I haven't seen the tables in a while. So
yeah, we can always have a look at that when it's updated. But no, congratulations on the win. All the best, and we look forward to the next one. All right.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Excellent.
Cheers.
No worries.
See you in a bit.
All right. I've been your commentator, Jamie. I hope you enjoyed the race, and we look forward to the next one. And that was Jack, the winner. Congratulations again.